welcome back, everybody. Got a little bit of a special for you guys. Mythic Legions just had their Legion Con over this past weekend. It's just basically a convention. All the creators, of course, Mythic Legions are there. YouTubers of them that cover that stuff go there. Really cool convention. I hope one day we can make it out there and do a little coverage of it. And also,
it would be a dream. Every year I get more and more enticed and to do, especially even to do the intern for a day.
Intern for a day is
do
cool.
a lottery for it. Mm-hmm. It just seems cool, especially for me who I like painting. It just looks like a dream, man.
That intern for the day, basically anyone can buy a ticket to it, but you do have to win the lottery to get into it. There's a few people. The cool thing about it though is that you get a +1. So we could both enter, double our chances, and if either of us get it,
really?
You get a +1.
I was just thinking about that, John. I was like, how would that work? I was like, would you have to write if I get picked, make sure my brother gets picked or something like that? Because you want to go with a buddy or something. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, they give you a +1, so that's kind of cool to do that. Bill from Dorklater, he was somebody's +1, so he got to kind of experience that intern for a day.
Are you serious? I thought he won on himself. That's called celebrity.
They're just like, hey, Bill, you want to come hang out for a day? He's like, sure.
Who wouldn't, right? If I had extra ticket, I'd be like, yeah, I would invite Bill. Bill's such a cool guy. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and I think one day, one of these years, we'll have to go. And next year is the 25th anniversary that they're doing.
I say we try it.
I think we should try it.
Just enter our names in the lottery, and if it comes up, we go. Yeah. I'll go next year for sure. Yeah.
And just for reference, it is out in New Jersey. People don't know Mythic Legions, but they hold that. That's where their convention is, and so it is a bit of a flight for us to go out there. But I mean, they get people from Sweden coming over. Emil Whitman comes over from Sweden every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just it's such a stark contrast. I feel like seeing the Mythic Legions community compared to even the Black Series or Marvel Legends, for how toxic. I'm a Black Series guy first. I'll always be Star Wars Black Series, but just the amount of complaining and it's just stark difference, night and day. These guys.
Yeah, and I've said this before, but that's one of the reasons that I've been attracted to the Mythic Legions toy line is not only are their toys amazing, but the community is so supportive. Yeah, and they take care of each other. They look out for each other.
Yeah. Something I thought was really cool is they some guy because he rented out a table to show his work, but he also welcomed it anybody in the Cabal bring a custom figure and you could display it. I thought that's so sick. Literally a community table. Somebody just bought out a community table. How cool is that?
And apparently that comes from the old days when they were first doing this Legion Con where they weren't able to fill up the rooms. They would just lay out tables for exhibitors to
really?
They're just hey, if you got stuff, you can bring it, and it sort of developed into this whole thing. So
yeah, because now there's no room. Yeah,
yeah, very natural. They took out 2 rooms in that hotel now. They take the main meeting room and then an adjacent annex. So yeah, but let's go ahead and talk about the reveals because they had a lot, and I think just a stellar wave from the Mythic Legion's latest wave. But the first part here, they did drop at the show. You could pick up the Valiant Knight. Now, it wasn't an exclusive or anything. This will get released later on, but this is just kind of a early in hands for everybody. And this one is the Knight that is on the updated body, updated articulation, more range in this figure.
And sometimes what they often do is they'll just take away a helmet.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
But to be honest, it's we're gonna get this helmet plenty more time, so it's nothing too crazy that you're gonna miss, Yeah,
nothing where it's you have to get this and pay scalper prices. Just wait, it'll come up for the rest of us.
This Knight, even as an exclusive, it's so basic, that it's if you miss this, it doesn't really matter because it's just a silver Knight. Yeah. In the end,
the cool thing is though is that we are getting that updated articulation, and so it was cool to see the different pictures. Bill posted some pictures. Dorklater with it, that two-handed knight hold of the sword, I think was really cool. I mean, look how dynamic that is. To get that range in a Mythic Legion is huge.
Yeah, right. Because that's always kind of been their weakest point of just everything, the plastic quality, the paint, sculpt, everything's Stellar. 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. But the articulation was always a little bit limited. And now they're improving that. They just keep next leveling up every time.
They level up for sure. So yeah, really cool. But Valiant Knight was released. If you were at the show, you probably picked one up, hopefully. If not, just wait. Just wait on these.
Don't in stock,
Yeah, don't worry about that. All right, but there's everything you're getting there with the Valiant Knight. Again, just a basic figure, but more accessories.
Yeah, tons more hands, yeah.
All right, let's get into it. The Mythic Legion's Rising Suns wave. This is kind of a culmination, apparently, of the ending of chapter for the story of Mythos. We have good versus evil kind of running into each other here. And they said it's the closing of a chapter. So we'll see what the next wave of Mythos comes.
Well, people kind of were like saying like that they've done kind of the 4 horsemen that they promised us. And people were saying like now that like when Cosmic started, they're like, oh, is Mythic Legion's over? But they're like, nah, this is kind of just the story arc is closed. The story's ending, but Mythic Legions is not over, right?
Yeah, they'll pick up some other story and keep going in different directions here. All right, but first up, they gave us Brodvar. This was an homage to a friend in the community named Brad. They kind of took his name and translated it through a different language, and they got Brodvar. So it's just this Viking. Yeah, and it's just this Viking dude. Like, this looks great. I really love the Viking aesthetic and that they're really leaning into it on this figure. $37 for this figure.
I just like that light blue with that deep red. You know, it just screams that like that Assassin's Creed Valhalla main character. You know, this figure looks phenomenal. You know, the shield is Viking-esque, and that soft good. Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, the fur. You said that it is actual like faux fur that's lined on the back. So there's like some actual like real life practicality to that, right? It's not just faux fur with the rough back. It's actually lined to protect it, to keep it, you know, nice, which is amazing. But yeah, just the boots there are the Conqueror boots from Cosmic. So they're bringing that stuff over into Mythic Legions. And they also said that anything from Mythic might also show up in Cosmic, right? There is always going to be that cross play. But another interesting thing here too is that they did mention that this figure does have a calf cut. So it does. The calf does have a rotation in it, so it's kind of like a high boot cut.
And that's brand new, right? That's never been done on a Mythic Legion before. Once again, upping the articulation, like the point that kind of everybody's kind of just like, not, I wouldn't say complain about, but just kind of said that that's where they could improve on.
Right,
they're doing it.
Yeah, they do it, and just look at the detail in this armor, man. Such an amazing job. As always, just knocks it out of the park. Always impressive. Yeah,
tons of new pieces. Like, and even the reuse, because there's so much new, you can barely tell what's reuse and what's not.
Yeah, but looks great. Here's everything you're getting here for $37. You're getting that classic Viking shield, the wooden shield there, pauldrons, horns, 2 different head sculpts, hacks, and just everything you can want. And I also do love that this trend started a while back, but the fact that they are including hands within the base figures instead of having to buy a hand pack, you just get them in the base figure for $37.
Yeah. And I love the new shoulder pauldrons just because I like sometimes the shoulder pauldrons that are sometimes smaller, just because the bulkier ones, like kind of the ones on the orc or even the big knight ones, just hinder articulation a lot. And with these, how small they are and how close they hug, you're going to get way more articulation with them.
Right. You can get them in better poses for sure. But yeah, there's Bodvar. Again, $37, man. This value, what you're getting here is phenomenal for that $37. That's a NECA price point, but Mythic Legions, man. All right, next up, we have Manisha Cinderhorn. Now, we are going to go from the Atlas crew and also the other crew. So the good and bad crew, we're going to kind of swap back and forth here. But Manisha is on the bad side. She is, I don't know, she looks really cool. Honestly, dude, there's a couple characters here that I'm getting like Berserk vibes off of. Just the way they're going. With the way they're going. But yeah, here's Manisha. Get that beautiful cape, the beautiful soft goods. Again, that Conqueror boot to get that cut in the calf there.
And then they're going with like this is like the exact same soft goods that Alethea came with, and even Artemis Silverhorn, the same layout. So we already kind of know what to expect, and those soft goods are phenomenal. The wire in them, and then they said this was a dark elf, but this is a female dark elf, which is the first time we've ever gotten a female in the dark elf form. And yeah, I never was able to get kind of the male dark elf, and so to finally at least get a dark elf is just really awesome.
Yeah, and I love the color scheme on this. That gold breastplate, the crossbow looks amazing. I mean, just great from this figure here.
Well, yeah, it's got a real functional string on it. Everything.
And the cool thing here too is that middle head there is actually from Cosmic. That's another reuse there, repainting as a dark elf. So
yeah, it's a Xeris head sculpt.
Yeah, Xeris, and then the other one is, I believe, was a princess at one point that they're repainting and repurposing here.
It's Talon Frostbow.
There we go. Crossbow. Another thing too, though, that they said they're going to start doing is they really want to push for all the accessories, all the weapons, to be able to be stored on the figure, just like G.I. Joe.
Nice.
So, like, honestly, that was my favorite part about getting a G.I. Joe, is being able to pack up all the things onto the figure. So it's cool that one of the best things about Joe is getting picked up by Mythic and kind of used on their terms too.
Yeah, and even though this is a named character, the fact that you get 3 unique head portraits, it's almost like one of those instances where they've done this before, where it's like a unique character, but you can also use this as an army builder and like just get 3 different ones and have 3 different dark elves.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, $37 for this is the base figure. This is what we should be expecting going forward. But there's Manisha. All right. Next up, this what got everyone excited, and it was cool on the stream when they were announcing it. This is apparently an homage to there's like a subgroup in the Cabal that's called the Kings Under the Mountain, where they just love dwarves. So if you love dwarves, that's kind of your community, and they've always just that's their thing. So they took the Under the Mountain part, and then they added the Exiles from the Under the Mountain. And during the stream, they first announced just the male figure, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this is so great!" They had communities, some of the kings from Under the Mountain come up, and they were just all freaking out, loving it. And then they announced the female, and that's great on the stream. You have to watch it, but just everyone was so happy that we're getting a female dwarf, like a fully, like on purpose female dwarf. It wasn't just one you had to kit bash. It's one that was made to be a female.
Yeah, and I love how the face sculpt came out. Like, yeah, it's a little bit freaky, but I like the freakiness of the sculpt.
I mean, it's a dwarf.
Yeah, and there's female dwarves are that you don't see them very often, even in fantasy, whether novels or movies or whatever. It's not a common thing you see.
What does Gimli say in Lord of the Rings in that? There are no dwarf women. Like, dwarves simply pop out from under the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And so just to get, a female dwarf is amazing. And it's been so long, since Mythic Legions has started. And to finally get something like this, it looks phenomenal. And it's a 2-pack. And at $75 price point, that's basically $37 per figure. So it's just the same price, basically.
It's a base. Yeah, it's that base figure. I think it's like $37.50 it comes out to, but it's just like 50 cents. It's basically just 2 base figures, and they come loaded. I mean, you're getting different head sculpts. You're getting that cool fire torch accessory that's just so great. And look at this, dude. I love this shot. This one is one of my favorites of the dwarves that they released, man.
That only looks like a Tolkien Hobbit, dwarf to me. It looks very like that.
For sure, Gimli glowing, Philly Killy. But here's everything you would get in this 2-pack here. You're getting those 2 head sculpts helmeted as well. Pauldrons, hammers, swords, horns. Like, just amazing 2-pack for the dwarves.
Yeah, and that brand new shield is sick too. Like, it just screams kind of dwarf, that just a hexagon shape. It's nice and little tight. It's very little and tight. Yeah. Just a great new piece.
So really, really excited, and it was cool to see the excitement in the dwarf community as well. So
I think this is honestly the first time we've gotten dwarf scale soft goods. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
There's actually never been dwarf scale soft goods, so that's another new thing too.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to C. Jessam, doing an amazing job. But yeah, there's that 2-pack, the Exiles from Under the Mountain, and that's also a cool thing, man. The Mythic team is so in touch with their community that if you're more, become a little more prolific in it, you potentially could get an homage.
That's true. That's true.
Just so cool. All right, next up here we have Dpar. Now this guy is what I'm excited for. This I'm getting Salat vibes from Berserk. It's like, this Kushan Empire. They're like the Easterlings. They're from the east. Yeah. And they come. I love the headdress. I love the like cloth. Good. Instead of like being a bare body, it's like completely covered in cloth for the arms and the legs. And $37 for this base figure, Dpar. And it looks like he has 4 arms. But he actually has like this creature that he's attached to himself. And I think that's just adds so much storytelling.
Well, yeah, it's not like a creature attached. It's like part of his body, right? It's like he's like a alien beetle type character,
right,
sort of thing. But it looks crazy, man. Like, I love the look of this, especially that like the gladiator beetles. What are they called? That have those little
yeah. That
thing looks
beetles.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks really great. $37 again, another base figure that you're getting here. And the cool thing about Dees here is that he has different face plates that you can change. So you can have it's kind of like the Monkey King where they had the more ornate helmet with a standard face, or you can have the ornate helmet with a masked face, right? And those are all the variations of Dpar. But yeah, like just an assassin dude, like just looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sick. The only thing I kind of wish, I mean, and you still might be able to fudge it in, is if like maybe the helmet was removable and we just had a full alien head sculpt.
That would be cool.
That way we could cross it over with cosmic. But you know, it might still work. I'll have to check and see. You know, just without the metal, like just do the alien face. Could just work.
Pop an alien head on there. And that, speaking of cosmic, they did say that they were planning on using Umbra, her tailpiece, but it was just too big and like too chunky. And they were saying like where it cut didn't match with this, so they had to make a whole new one, which is great.
I'm glad they did, right? Because if this were Hasbro making these figures, they would have just used it straight up.
For sure, they just would have fudged it in there as best they could, and it would have looked bad. But yeah, we got a whole new back piece that you could potentially use across different figures. I'm excited, dude. But yeah, Dpar, I'm really digging these these Eastern vibes here that we're getting from Mythic. Definitely a lot cooler. But here's everything.
Especially because like you have that kind of faction in LOTR too.
Yeah,
it just makes sense, right?
Right. It's very, very fantasy. Very, very.
You got to have the Eastern links. Yeah, they have it in Game of Thrones and LOTR. Yeah. There's always that Eastern faction.
All fantasies have that for sure. But yeah, here's everything for Dees. Those two head sculpts, the face plates, the big old flame with the green effect, which is awesome. Pauldrons, more like beetle, like armor.
I love those. The fact that they look organic and there's almost like a leathery texture. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and those curved blades in that standard sword. So really, really cool. Dpar. Probably it might be one of my favorites. Stay tuned, guys.
So far. We'll see. We'll get there.
We'll get there. All right, next up, they did announce also some dwarf weapon packs. The Kings of the Mountain, they've been doing a hashtag every year. They say, Year of the Dwarf. And honestly, like this wave kind of is definitely supporting them with that 2-pack and these this dwarf weapon pack and a barbarian weapon set. Oh man, just $20 each for these sets just to fill out some armor here. Your armories.
Yeah. And the really cool thing they said was that like the flame effects are all they can go in between. So the blue, the green with these, and the red with the 2-pack, they can all interchange. Man. So you can have blue fire, green fire, and red fire now all in the same wave.
That is really cool. But yeah, it's just beautiful paintwork, more ornate accessories here for your friends here. And one thing they are kind of starting to do is they're adding a little more things that can dangle off of your figures. So here we have like a little 2 pieces here, and the horn. Just adding more detail without adding more cost to it. Interesting thing here on the barbarian weapon pack though. You see those little silver balls up top there? Those are the exact same size as a head ball joint. So you could attach a head, like as a trophy, to one of your figures, like, I killed this.
Yeah. Yeah, like they were saying it would work really well, just because like you could do it on an ogre scale figure or even a troll scale figure.
Yeah.
And just attach like skulls or even just human heads, knight heads, across like a huge beast, would be look really sick.
It would look so cool. So again, just adding more playability to their figures. I think they're doing great. And it's a new piece, right? Something potentially maybe you didn't know you wanted. But yeah, you're getting. All right, but there's that weapon pack. Let's get back into the characters here, man. Look at this, like Highlands cow, yak, Rarion. This thing, Rarion looks amazing, dude. I've never thought I would want a cow or a yak figure, but man, they did an amazing job with this.
Yeah, the first sculpt, they knocked that sculpt out of the park. Like the amount of detail, like you could tell he's kind of woolly, right?
Yeah.
Just from looking at that. Like, honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was somebody's custom that they made because it was like at the show displayed. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, that's a sick custom that somebody made. But then when it came out, it was an official release. I was way excited.
Yeah, Rarion apparently was teased, previously, so it's cool to finally get the figure. Now he is a lot bigger. It's going to be a $60 price point, right? It's a more of a larger figure in regards to that. It's not like ogres.
That's just the standard ogre scale price. For some reason, though, the ogre scale figures did not get any increase since inflation happened. For some reason, whereas like everything else kind of did. The ogres, they probably just made enough money for it, and they just get 60.
maybe it's just at like a price point that's like perfect, right? Where it's like no matter what, even with an increase in price, we're still doing fine, you know. But yeah, Rarion looks great. I love the skirt piece on him that he has. I mean, just the details there that you can see, different skulls, little trinkets, belt loops, belt buckles. Man, they really do a good job with these figures.
Yeah, the tail, the soft goods, and those skulls are so sick because they also said that they're compatible with Beluolith from the Necronominus wave.
Oh, really?
So you can put those on the Chimera that comes with Beluolith. And vice versa. You can put Beluolith skulls on him. So, you know, they're always 10 steps ahead.
They're all, yeah.
In the stream, they even said what's crazy is when they actually inceptually made the ogre scale mold for the first time, they already had Archimedes, Equidron, and Rarion.
Wow.
All these already planned out. As soon as they had the body, like Rarion was already in development. It was just a matter of time before they did it.
Right, and when to release it in what wave. Dang. Yeah. So yeah, that's really cool. Rarion here finally coming out and just looks amazing, dude. Again, I've never thought I wanted a Highland Yak, but here he is.
Yeah, and you gotta love those blue eyes. And they also said that, and I do remember this, is actually on the box art of any previous ogre scale or troll scale figures. You can actually see him on the box art from like 3 years ago. And so we everybody kind of knew this was kind of coming, which leads us to believe now for sure, John, that the dragon's coming. I can tell you right now,
really?
Yes, the dragon's coming because the dragon is on the box art. And so if they said that Rarion 3 years ago was on the box art, which I did see this guy, I remember seeing this guy.
Okay.
The dragon's on that same box art. That means it's in development, but like the sheer scale of that, and think about this, they said that Rarion was in development when ogre scale. Yeah, dragon's coming. It's just gonna take a lot of time.
Josh is calling it right now. Dragon's coming.
Coming, guys. Yeah.
One thing I just noticed though, look at the top of his hammer here. Looks like another head peg, a head ball joint.
Good. Yeah, I'm not, I might be. Yeah, is that?
I don't know. It looks like it.
It might be. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. Let's jump over to the bad side here. We have Yosan Kari. Now, if you have seen or if you've gotten the Monkey King from Wukong, this figure looks very, very familiar. Basically, straight reuse, straight repainting of this figure, which honestly, not a bad thing. The detailing in the armor for the Monkey King, the Sun Wukong figure, is amazing. It's very ornate, very beautiful, and this is just kind of like a flat black with a wash to it, right?
Yeah, I'm not mad at this at all. Just because you don't want to keep that mold just exclusive to that figure because it was a really rare figure. It's not for people to get a chance to get, you know, kind of a type of Monkey King. And also it's going to display so well with the Monkey King, like to get two of these and have Monkey King fighting them, it would look sick in photos.
Right here. And I love the Oni mask that they did here, or the Oni face sculpt. That it's just so good, and the choice of green just makes this whole figure come together with the red, the silver with that green skin. And it just looks amazing. Yeah, it looks great. The same skirt piece and same kind of like a little wrap that he did. They're just kind of wrapping it above his torso, which is like, well, you can do that with your Monkey King.
Yeah, and they kind of said like the lore with this guy, he's like a demon assassin, which all these kind of Eastern characters are like all assassins, but they're kind of all like almost like a group of assassins. So they want them, they said, like to be like cohesive, but not. And so you can kind of see that in between throughout them. Yeah.
And again, that's very much Berserk vibes. If we ever did get entered for a day, I'm asking who here likes Berserk. But yeah, so this Kari here looks great. It is just that Monkey Wukong with, you know, some different pieces, of course. But yeah, just solid figure here. I love the separate demon, you know, the apostle, the demon head sculpt where he's like got the flame horns or the spectral horns coming out of his head.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, looks great. And I love the long swords too, right?
Oh yeah. You gotta have that. If you're like Eastern characters, you gotta have that.
It's gotta be long and wibbly and wobbly.
Yeah,
for sure. But you get all those sets of hands, those pauldrons, 2 head sculpts, and those weapons. So yeah, another solid figure, even though it is. Next up, we are getting Nieve, a frost elf, a female frost elf. Again, just building more of that barbarian side out of it, and she looks great, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think this one is another top choice here. Also, Nieve is, for me, I was like, oh, that's just snow in Spanish. So
yeah. The only thing I will say, because like within the Mythic Legion's lore, there's like the woodland elves that Artemis leads, and then there's the snow elves with which Talon Frostbow leads. I just feel like this doesn't look elvish enough for me, especially the way Talon Frostbow looks and her color scheme. And like with Artemis, anybody that is a disciple of Artemis and Ziria, they're all kind of have green and brown, like everybody. Whereas Talon Frostbow is like blue and white, and there's no blue and white. Like you said, this looks more like a female Viking, a female barbarian than an elf. And I just don't like that.
Okay.
Because they're calling it an elf, but it doesn't look like an elf to me. But for me personally, I'm going to use this like as with my Rising Suns. I'm going to use this with my Rising Suns, with Atlas and the Rising Suns, who are kind of barbarian Viking-esque. But I'm not going to use this with my Talon Frostbow faction.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, definitely throw it with Brodvar and Atlas, because technically, like Brodvar or Atlas, like he renounced to be the king, right? He's like, I don't want to do that, and kind of And so maybe this is what her story is too, like the Frost. Since she's a Frost elf,
that could be. That maybe she's not really an elf. I don't know.
She's kind of like.
Let me see the ears. Let me see the ears.
They're there.
No, there. She's elf. She's elf. So yeah. See, I don't like that. It doesn't look too. It looks too barbarian, not enough elvish.
And again, maybe she's just like a loner. Got picked up by the Atlas's crew. I don't know. It is very, very barbarian.
Yeah.
Very much so. But yeah, it looks lots of new pieces here. They were saying here that back butt plate is new, but it looks great. And the cool thing about that shield too is you can insert or remove those arrows. So you can add just so much more playability, more dynamic shots as well.
And they said you could like add an infinite number, like as many as I could fit on. Like they not just two. They said like I don't know how it's actually working, but they said look how many there are. 2, 4, 6. There's like 6 or 7, 8 there.
Yeah.
And they said you can like add a ton of them. So I'm not even sure how it necessarily works, really.
Do you think? Okay, my only thing is, do you think they went metal plate with magnet tips of arrows?
No, too fragile. I think there's just going to be
magnet with metal tips, metal arrows.
No, I think there's just going to be ports. But I think the digital, or they kind of just erased it.
No, you can kind of see one right.
Yeah, you can kind of see some ports, right?
You can see some ports, yeah. I would think it'd be a port system for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, they said you could attach more than 2.
Looks good. That looks cool. That looks great. Yeah, just to get another great figure here. Great new shield. Get a little more trinkets, different head. Yeah, no, I think this one's another standout for sure, for me at least. Just, Mythos is becoming, more, I don't know, it's not just males, right? It's not just male people. We're getting some females.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is really great.
There's a lot of females in this wave. That's a good thing, yeah.
Just to fill out more of the demographics. All right, let's keep going here. Next up, we have Amir Caspar. And again, just really heavily leaning into that Eastern vibes. And I love it. I'm here for this. This reminds me of Kingdom of Heaven.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
The leper guy.
Yes, exactly.
Just man, looks amazing for this. And you got those great robes, and that's basically the robe. Well, it's not the same, of course. It is a completely different robe, but same material, same kind of big open ports that we got from the Mask of the Red Death figure. So it is different. It is both. It's a longer arms, but it looks great. It looks great. And the cool thing about Amir Caspar here is that he's actually not someone new. This is actually an alter ego of a character that has already been released, but is getting an update. They are doing a Scapular the Crypt Breaker 2. So it's old figure to get it full, just to get updated, man. I love it.
Especially because Scapular was kind of one of the runner, like he was part of the All-Stars voting, but just didn't quite make it. And so this is a way kind of for collectors that miss on Scapular to get it. And now, like, even me who doesn't have a regular Scapular, I don't even want to go back and get that figure, because this Scapular 2 is 10 times better than that original Scapular. Like, that original Scapular is just a knight with the Scapular head, basically.
Wow.
This is a dedicated Scapular sculpt with his lore, all of his trinkets and everything that makes Scapular who he is.
Right. Very ornate, because he is, kind of greedy like that. He likes to be very fashionable. But man, to get not only that Scapular, but within that same base figure price, you can build out Amir Caspar as well. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, 2 very different figures looking wise. Totally. But just
totally, yeah. Like, it almost makes you want to get 2, to be honest.
Right, yeah, so you can have him in his Amir's
Exactly.
alter ego.
And Scapular, exactly.
And Scapular, dude. And yeah, just very ornate. Here's everything you're getting. He's getting daggers, potion bottles. Again, everything. They're adding more little things that you can attach to him to where he can carry all of his weapons onto him. Beautiful shield from Scapular as well. And you get those Amir hands as well. But honestly, that head sculpt, that faceplate, that's where it's at, man, for me.
Yeah, that's sick.
I love this look. But Scapular does not ride alone. He is also going to be coming in this wave. They're giving us a dark unicorn, Umbra, the dark unicorn. And just like Scapular, very, very ornate. Scapular was $37. Umbra is a horse, so it's going to be at that $60 price point. But beautiful, like golden mane. His tail has little bracelets on, big old tassels on the reins, and a unicorn, dude.
It's crazy, yeah. Something I will say though is for me personally, it's never happened, but I've seen a lot of people in the community and comments saying that a lot of their steeds or horses have been breaking and been really fragile.
Really?
Yeah, so I wonder maybe if they're gonna address that issue, or if they're just going to keep doing those like warnings, because now they like send little papers with warnings saying like heat up your figure before you break, especially now because it's getting colder. So just like a word of advice, guys, like heat it up with hot water, blow dryer, because people say that when you articulate the legs, you got to heat those things up because they're really fragile.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be popping, like if it's been sitting outside for any moment of time, any couple of minutes, like just either leave it in your house, wait till tomorrow, or hit it with some, hot.
Sometimes they're just too excited. They're too excited. They got to get in.
But the cool thing about this Umbra is that you can also convert him into just a normal black horse. Like he will come with a separate mane. You can remove the horn. You can remove the tail to get just a black horse. Yeah,
and even more so, right? Like you can even remove the fancy tassels and just put Balius's. If you want to just put Balius's saddle on him, then he'll even look less ornate.
Right. More can fit into different figures and different people as well. So it doesn't just have to be Scapular's dark unicorn, which, this is great. This is the second wave that they've done with the horse in it. I don't know if that's going to be like standard for every wave, but it is cool to get more animals. Love getting the animals.
Well, this kind of like finishes kind of like the four horsemen steeds, right? So like there's like the dead horse. There's the vampire horse, and then the unicorn, and then there was Arethyre's fire horse. And so this kind of like ends the intricate horses. We might not maybe see horses, I think, for a while, I would say, until they have to re-release, a horse, because people want horses again.
Right. All right, but yeah, there's the dark unicorn. Bruh. Let's keep it going here. Let's take it over to Atlas the Conqueror. And now Atlas was an original figure as well. So this is Atlas 2. This is an update. This is a full, just rehaul of the original figure. $37 price point there. And the cool thing about Atlas, the one thing I like is his asymmetry. Like I was looking more at this figure. He's not just a barbarian, but he also has like a metal leg, a metal arm, which again, that's berserk. That's guts.
Well, it's kind of just to show like he is a knight, but he's kind of renounced that. And now he's kind of just living. It's almost like also like a Jon Snow type character to me, right? Where he was kind of royal knight, but then he kind of went with the wilder people, right? And now he's a part of both worlds. He's like a Jon Snow guy.
Daywalker.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks amazing, man. And that soft good fur, dude. I don't know how they're doing it, but it is amazing. It looks good. It's scaling well, and it just looks amazing. Yeah,
the only thing I would say is be very careful, because if you look in the back, they're attaching it to the back port. There's a port there that little golden knob is, and usually there's a hole within the fabric, and it's really easy to rip. Like previous capes were like really thin like that. And also too, it's like no soft good is going to come the same, and so some are cut good and some are closer. Some are cut really close to the edge.
Interesting. Okay, just something to look out for. Yeah, I didn't really realize that. But with Atlas here, you also can get when he was more of a gladiator. That's what they were saying. So I honestly, that's one of my favorite gladiator helmets too. Just that.
It's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah.
The beehive, man. It's great. But here's everything you're getting with our Atlas friend here. And just Just great. Again, solid Viking, barbarian, whatever you want to call him. Just amazing, man. Really dig it.
Yeah, and they said like he's like the main character of kind of this first arc, this first story of Mythic Legions. And so really good to have him because he was, Kickstarter. He was like initial waves. So like if you have him, you like it's such a rare figure. Like this guy would go for triple digits. Yeah, because he's the main character. He's the main character. Yeah. He's so old. So this was a much needed kind of re-release, even though it's not really a re-release.
Yeah, they're fully updating it as a sequel, I would say, but it's still that character, right? You can pick that up. Get the main character there. Atlas. And then, of course, to finish it off, Atlas needs a steed. He is the main character, right? So what's he going to ride? He's riding a bear. They are doing a bear. Bodvar here, the bear steed. And man, this thing is insane. Look at this picture, dude.
So beautiful. Like, I love articulated animals. Like anytime we get an articulated animal from the Joes and just to get finally an articulated bear, like this thing is going to be sick, man. This is just crazy. Yeah,
this is of course all these the pretty pictures here are all shot by 1/6 shooter Trevor. Go check him out. But yeah, man, this is like iconic. This photo, I mean, the bear, the Atlas there, mountains just screams Mythic Legions, screams D&D, right? This is high fantasy. I love this. And but let's get like other animal seeds because we got with like Artemis, we got the moose, right? And so now all the leaders factions, there's like the 4 horsemen, they have their steeds, and then like the 4 good guys now are getting their steeds. We have like Artemis and her moose, and now Atlas and his Bodvar bear. Like these are sick. These are awesome, man. But let's take a closer look at Bodvar. But he comes to that harness, the saddle, and they said apparently the guy who was sculpting the fur on this bear, he didn't actually sculpt it while he was like working. He would go home and like sculpt it because it was just so much detail. He said he sculpted every little piece of fur on this bear, and
you can tell.
You can tell like there's just so much uniqueness in it. It's not just like this mold that he pressed in. Like he really looked at a bear and saw where the weight was, where the fur, how the fur lays at different parts of it. But yeah, 2 different head sculpts on this bear. One is the resting bear face, and as well as the screaming bear face. And they said that they wanted to do that instead of articulating the jaw, mainly because a bear's face changes with its mouth open.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can really tell, like, if that was a jaw that was articulated, you wouldn't be able to fit it underneath the jowls that he has.
Yeah, and you wouldn't get that fierceness like in the eyes that we're seeing with the other head sculpt.
Yeah, just that where it's more beady, it's pulled back. But my only gripe, is I feel like the nails, the claws are too long. And I'm probably wrong. You're wrong. Yeah, you're wrong. I just feel like they're too long. I don't know why. But I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong on that. I see what you're saying. It does look off. But you're wrong. That's how Grizzly is. Grizzly got those huge nails on like that. That's a Grizzly claw, yeah.
All right. Maybe they're just
especially with like the attention to detail that these guys take, they're not going to miss that,
Yeah,
they're just not.
Exactly. When I heard them talking about it, I was just like, yeah, no way, I'm wrong. But I just, for me, like visually, I just feels like that doesn't look right. But I agree. I am 100% wrong. But just one little thing that I was just kind of like noticing on myself. But not only does this bear become a steed, it will do what everyone wants it to do. Here's everything you're getting there. Those 2 head sculpts with the saddle, but they are also going to give us some resting hands, some walking hands, and a different neck piece to create a standing bear pose, dude. And man, this is cool.
Yeah, insane. Like it makes like the $85 price point. Yeah, it's expensive, but when they showed this figure standing upright at the show, it was the same height as the troll. Yeah, exactly. Like like it's huge. Like, and if you look at the troll, right, the troll retailed for $100, but the troll has like no articulation. It's literally a solid brick. You can move the arm up and down. And the belly and the head, like you can, there's not even knee joints in that troll.
Right, yeah.
And the
below the waist is solid.
The elbows are like 15 degrees, not even 45, 15 degrees. So like the fact that this is $15 cheaper than a troll, it has way more articulation, and they're about the same size, to be honest. Like, it looks like about the same amount of plastic to me.
Yeah.
Especially because that one, the troll is rotocast, and I don't think this is going to be rotocast.
I don't think so. This is like an articulated figure.
Yeah, this is going to be a chunk.
Yeah, this is going to be the slog, you know. But no, yeah, to like, just to, instead of, you know, being like, well, we can't really get the head to articulate upright, we'll just leave it as a steed. No, they're like, no, we know our fans, we know what they want. Give them the standing bear, dude, just to get those different hands and that new head neck. I would call it a neck piece. Yeah, neck piece.
Yeah, neck piece. Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Like, what also this means though is now that they have this bear, when do we get a polar bear?
We for sure will. Like, they talked about it and they said like it's inevitable, right? Just because they said the amount of money that they poured into this mold.
Oh yeah.
Like they were saying that
for sure.
It's not even a choice for them.
They have to.
They have to. Yeah, like it's a necessity. It's not even that they want. Like Shred, they probably want to make more bears, right?
Right.
But but in reality, it's a necessity. They need to make more bears to make back the money, because just a single release is not going to make the money. The time that they had to put in, the amount of effort, and the new parts, like it's all 100% new, right?
All new. Yeah.
And so like the only thing that they would have to change, because you could keep the sculpt, you would just have to get new feet and the new head, right? Because Panda is like different. He's like more. The nose is more smashed in.
Yeah, for sure. Even like black bears, brown bears, grizzly bears, like they all have those variations, you know.
As long as you change the feet and the head, the body can fudge.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is I think the star of the show, to get this brand new, all new bear, is to get this upright. The one thing they were saying that it's like still fresh, and so fresh that they weren't able to get the prototype of the standing parts to Trevor. So he wasn't able to shoot it. So they just only had the renders, which it's okay. Honestly, it's okay. Yeah. Just being able to confirm that, yes, it will be able to stand is awesome.
Something I hope they do is like with Talon Frostbow. She's like the leader of the Snow Elves. Mm-hmm. Give her the polar bear steed, you know? Have Talon Frostbow get the polar bear. That would be sick.
That would be really cool, man. That's probably cooking.
Talon Frostbow version 2, straight up. Talon Frostbow version 2 polar bear
with the steed. Yeah. All right, let's go over the price for all of that. That rounds out the wave, everything, and for the all-in price, you will be going in for $550. Everything you're seeing on here is what you would be getting. And now, do you have the individual price?
You're getting a free figure. You're getting it's like $40.
Yeah, so the full, if you bought them individually, you would be getting, it comes
like
out
$590.
to like $590, right? So drop 40, that's basically $37 plus tax. You're at the $40 there. Yeah, $590 individually. The price is all in. You get those 12 figures. And there's also a cool thing. If you do go all in, you do get a bonus head. So they are doing this bonus item. There's a kind of a story about someone who passed away that they wanted to kind of raise money for the family. So they did a custom figure for it. And this is the head sculpt that was on it. So instead of depreciating or stealing the value of that custom that they did for that family, they're just releasing the figure, the head sculpt in a redeco kit. So just to kind of get something out there for those all-in prices, just add a little sweetener in there.
Yeah, and this is the first time they've ever done something like this, because previously it was just always a discount. You never get a bonus. Mm-hmm. Now, I can see why this might make some people maybe a little bit frustrated, just because this is the most expensive wave ever done by Mythic Legions. And what's crazy is like every G-Con wave was the most expensive wave ever up to date.
Oh, so it keeps building?
It does. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like the Aether wave was the biggest wave, then it was Alithia, then Necronominus, and now the Rising Sun wave is the biggest wave. All four of them were the past 4 G-Con wave reveals. And so $550, guys, like it's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of dough. And so I can see why, but then I can also see the flip side to it, where it's like, if a fan is willing to put up $550, they should get rewarded for that. And so having that incentive of that exclusive head, maybe also to recoup, right? They could recoup. So kind of like with like the HasLabs we talked about, where they can recoup some of that money. Maybe if I buy this all in, I'm not really care about the head, I can sell that because it's such a rare piece.
That's true.
And it helps bring down the cost, because if you're putting up $550, you're a diehard fan, right?
Yeah, for sure. You should
kind of be rewarded for that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and definitely, if you're not interested in the dwarves, you can resell that for sure. Again, that's a good little way to look at it there. Now, the pre-order period though, it does run from from November 10th, 2023 through January 14th, 2024. That's a total of 65 days. They said in the stream that they are aware that it is the holiday season.
G-Con reveals are always during the holiday season, man.
It could be a little tight, so they did want to extend the time frame for that pre-order period, so you can kind of, if you need to move things around, or if you mull it over, pick and choose which figures you do want, get those funds for those, kind of play around with the shipping costs and stuff like that. But yeah, let's say today they are aware that of when they're dropping this, right?
Yeah. There's nothing much we can do, right? 550. You gotta put it up or shut up. That's it.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I mean, a lot of new, a lot of update, a lot of uniqueness.
That's one thing they were saying too, is when we should expect to get these, right? Because you're gonna put the money up front. They're gonna charge you on January 11th or 14th, whatever it was.
14th, yeah.
January 14th. They said that this is not coming until. Oh yeah. Does it say that? Yeah. Until spring of 2025. Yeah, they said spring 2025, right?
Yep.
So, and they say that, to be honest, I think it's going to be longer because of how much new sculpt there is here. And thinking back to how many times Cosmic Legions 1 got delayed. Now, Cosmic Legions 1 was straight up zero reuse, right?
All new, yeah.
Yeah, there was zero reuse there. So, but still, that one took like 2.5 years, I think.
You're right.
So
right.
This one, I think it might even be like summer 2025. To be honest, I don't think they'll be able to do it that fast. Especially because, like you said, the bear wasn't even ready for even like the show, really.
For Trevor, to shoot. Yeah, that's true. Like fully was not ready.
So that's something to be very aware of, because like it's a lot of money to put up. To be honest, I think for a year and a half, essentially.
At least.
So sometimes it might be cheaper, just like if you want to go through the third parties, even though they'll charge you more, you won't have to put up any of the money.
Right? Yeah, you can wait. You can get that. You can collect those.
So
funds.
there are options.
Yeah, outside of that, you don't get the exclusive head, but that's that's personal preference. Yeah. No. Yes, it's a hefty sum. It's a hefty sum, but honestly, I see the value there. It's not something where I'm like, no army builders outside of the dwarves, but even them are unique and new.
No, those are not considered army builders.
They're not named. They're just the exiles under the mountain.
But like, you don't want to confuse people, because like when you say army builder, it means like this is $25 price, right?
Sorry, you're right.
Because like
okay.
they're still like deluxe,
right?
Yeah, like everything's 37 and above.
Still a base figure.
Everything's 37 and above. So you're right.
Okay.
The value is there. The value is there, and the bear. That's like a 1/5 of the freaking price right there.
Yeah, no, the bear is sick, dude. Honestly, all right, let's get into it. What is your top three?
Top three. Okay, top three.
Okay, top
one, three. Bear. Bodvar, bear. Are you kidding me? Bear all day. Okay, one.
The
bear
is sick. Bear is sick.
Second one, I'm gonna go. I can't remember. Is it Dpar? Yeah, Dpar.
Dpar, yeah.
Dpar, that beetle vibe. I love bugs. I love bugs. Dpar 2. Third place, I'm gonna go with Scapular, just because I like the fact that it's 2 different figures and the amount of stuff you get. And it's still $37. Scapular 3. Done.
Well, we're both done.
What? Those are your 3 too?
Those are literally my
in the same order?
No, yeah, Bear, Dees, and then I would either go Scapular because of the Amir, or
I thought it was a Viking with the sockets.
No, Rarion would have been my my
fourth. Okay, yeah. So that's right. My
Rarion.
fourth is the Viking with the white fur. I like that guy.
Bodvar, yeah, Bodvar.
Oh,
Brodvar.
Yeah, because Bodvar's the bear. Brodvar's from Bjorngard.
Yeah. Bear is sick, dude. Bear to get like a standing bear alone, dude. Like you can just pose that. You can take pictures with so many different lions, and just have a bear is sick. And Dees gives me that Salah vibes. Love the Eastern, the hard Eastern, right? The bugness too is sick. And then Scapular for the Amir, or Rarion, man. A yak, Highland yak. I'm down for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Something with like the names, because they have really tricky names.
Yeah.
I actually, during the stream, when I was watching the stream, even within kind of the leaders of the 4 horsemen, say the names differently. Like I noticed when they were talking about the vampire ogre scale figure, which I pronounced Decelibus, and I say that because I hear Jeremy and Cornboy say Decilibus, I heard somebody, the other four horsemen say, not Decilibus, they said Decilibus, and they said, I can't even remember, but they said it differently, right?
Oh yeah,
like even within the four horsemen, the names are just so hard. Yeah, I
think Jeremy, when he was talking about the dark unicorn, said Umbra and Umbra within the same like 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, they're hard, guys. They're hard.
Yeah, they're fun names though. Sometimes like Nieve is cool. I love that a frost stuff is called Nieve. That makes sense. And yeah, but okay. Let us know down below, guys. Made it to this point in the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Friends, we're going to keep you guys up to date on any toy news, as well as, of course, these special Mythic Legions coverage. Let us know down below your top 3 picks. What out of this wave have to get? If you can only get 3, let us know. Me and Josh kind of synced up there for our top 3, so not too much to discuss about that. But yeah, man, another solid wave, very high price point. Could be not seen for a couple, at least a year and a half, potentially 2 years away. Who knows what will change. But yeah, if you're into it, you're into it, man. I think there's a few here that are, of course, standouts for us. Let us know down below your top 3. Anything else, Josh? All right, friends. Well, like always, keep collecting, keep playing. May the action figure gods smile upon you. Peace.